Welcome to another exciting episode. Inside this show, we highlight various topics and multiple species. In segment 1, it's October, and I'm working jointed shallow raters over remaining cabbage weed clumps in search of a hungry autumn muskie. After that, I am swim jigging docks, underwater fish cribs, and sunken brush for bass. Finally, we wrap it all up with perhaps our best big muskie segment of the season. It's at least in the top 3, featuring an incredible boat-side strike from a big bruiser muskie. October crankbait muskies, early summer swim jig and crib bass, and rainy day boat-side bruisers. Stick around for all the action.
Fishing with Joe Bucher is brought to you by Recon Boats, made by craftsmen, built for fishermen. Evinrude E-Tech G2, the outboard that changed everything. St. Croix, best rods on earth. Yeti, built for the wild. Joe Bucher Outdoors, still #1 in big game fishing products. And by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers.
Hey muskie friends, welcome back. Side scanning sonar. Do you own one? Yeah, you actually do, even if you don't, but you do. It's right here. It's a crankbait. This time of the year, it's October, the beautiful color in the trees, the water temperature's dropping below 60 degrees. The jet skiers and the water skiers are gone. I've got the lake to myself, and I'm casting my crankbaits over spots that had great weed beds in the summer, and I'm looking for little patches that are left. Now, why do I call this a side scanning sonar? This is the original side scanning sonar, and this is how I find the last patches of weeds on big flats and stuff. And when I find them, this locates them. When I find them, I usually catch a muskie, and that's what you're going to see right now. A lot of weed die-off in this whole chain already.
It's been pretty cold. This morning was 41.
Yeah. There's a fish. Good one too. Good one. Good one. Oh yeah. Good old crankbait fish. Oh baby. Yeah. Oh yeah. Jointed shallow rater. Oh. Oh yeah, that's fun. That is fun. Oh yeah. Let's see what we got and get our tools ready to go here. All right. And again, when you unhook fish, try to do it all in the landing net. This fish is really hooked good. Really hooked good. Yeah, that's one good thing about a jointed crankbait, folks. Most of the time, it really hooks fish super good. And the joints in the bait seem to be in your favor. So there you go, my friends. There we go. Hey, my friends. Late fall cranking. Yeah, baby. Jointed crankbaits especially. Look for those last remaining weed patches. Once you find one, and you feel your crankbait hit it, probably won't be long before you hook one. We'll be right back. We'll put you back. Okay. Back with with you. Oh yeah. Lots and lots of fun.
The official music sponsor of all Fishing with Joe Bucher episodes is Yeti.
Got another spot. I've got, you know, occasional spawning beds coming up, but these fish are real. There you go. Yeah. You just settle down here, you. Just settle down. Yeah. Just swim jigging the shoreline here, my friends. That's all we're doing. Gonna unhook you over the side of the boat right here. We're gonna unhook you right here. Won't even have to get out of the water. No. There you go. All right. What we're fishing here, my friends, bait casting gear, 15-pound beast braid in green. I've got one of St. Croix's 64 Avidex 64 MX fast, a medium extra fast, and on the business end here I've got a Dirty Jigs 3/8 ounce bluegill craw kind of pattern here with a twin tail grub on it. This is a fantastic thing to be throwing. Let me pull it off here. I'll show it to you real quick here. Fantastic thing to be throwing out in front of the boat. In fact, one of the things, I'm going to reset that weed guard just a little bit here. I like to get that brush guard spread apart just a little bit so it'll go through the cover a little bit better. But that's a swim jig. You know what's a swim jig? You throw it out, crank it in, just swim it. Just swim it. There's so much nice natural action on it. What makes a swim jig a little bit different than standard jigs like football jigs and other kinds of jigs is that the line tie is right off the front, which makes it pull straight through the water like this and it doesn't snag up anything. But what's really nice about this setup is you can fish it in all kinds of stuff. The same stuff you'd fish a spinnerbait in, you can fish this jig, and that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm fishing a spinnerbait with no spinner. Let's get another one. Oh, got him. He's in the tree. I got him out. I got him out, folks. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? And it's a good one, too. He got in that tree and I couldn't get him out of there. I felt the thump. I was actually taking and slamming his head into the crevice of the tree. That's exactly what was going on there. Yes, I'm serious. Isn't that something? Oh, man. Hey, listen, I try to tip you guys off on things that really work. I'm telling you, you got to get some of these Dirty Jigs, finesse swim jigs. Yeah, they're just deadly, obviously. I mean, look at these things. It's catching them like crazy. Wow. Anytime you get this offshore cover like this, you see this tree, that's this horizontal laying log tree here. It's also got another shoot off it that might be a branch or whatever. Any of this kind of stuff. This is what we're fishing here today, and it's been very productive. Here we go. There he is. Yeah. Welcome to our show, my friends. This show is all about getting out on the water for small spurts when the weather gets better. Dodging storms today, waiting for the sun. Spring and fall, solar is big. Sometimes in the summer, if you have a cold summer, solar is big. But late in the afternoon, man, it's tough to beat solar. Just really tough to beat it. Yeah. There we go. All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. Beautiful fish. Nice, lightly stained water smallmouth. Another thing about solar is it affects fish in all waters, but boy, you know, when you're looking for fish after a cold front, a lot of times it's that fish in these stained water systems that seem to turn on a little bit better because the water's a little warmer early in the season. And that's what we're fishing here. You're kind of one of the first warm fronts in a long time here early in the season. Good fish, folks. There's a big fish in that tree. A real solid fish. Yeah. There you go, my friends. Swim jig in the shorelines. You see it offshore, anything offshore, any target offshore is bound to be a hot spot. Might even hold a whole bunch of fish, but in this case, it did hold one real nice one, didn't it? A blast. Boy, he pound that thing too, huh? Dirty jigs. Finesse swim jig. It's a killer. Alrighty. Look at that, huh? What do you think? That's a lot of fun. Start fishing those swim jigs, my friend. They're worth it. You can see, a lot of times you don't need to get real finessey. Just throw that thing out and crank it in. I mean, I did pick the trees there and I just dropped it a touch and that fish just pounded it. But more often than not, you don't even have to do that. Get yourself some swim jigs and get to work. We'll be right back.
This featured segment is brought to you by The Muskie Shop.
Hey folks, welcome to our Muskie Show. Chaz Martin and I are out here we had this beautiful warm weather and it just went down the tubes on us.
Absolutely, man. We got a traditional cold front here. East wind, I mean, just overcast, gnarly. We can't even fish the big water.
We have a northeast wind and pelting rain at times, and the wind is gusty and strong.
Oh my gosh.
And then the big water is dangerous.
Yeah, can't even.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. But this segment's all about, just caught a tank. A tank. It's all about downsizing in cold fronts. We've hit on this for 3 years, but downsizing, the two baits that we're killing them on in cold fronts, and we're the only people in camp catching fish. Everybody's throwing big rubber, big blades. We're catching 3 fish or more a day, right?
Yeah.
And look what we're throwing. Okay, now the fish you're about to see came on this lure. Chaz caught a big one on that lure yesterday, the JB Rattler. 4-inch bait,
Yeah.
5-inch bait. Do these baits catch big fish? Yes. You have to rig them big. When Chaz and I designed the 500 tinsel, we designed it to fish big.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. On a 9-foot setup, 8'6", 9-foot setup, it's got a really heavy keel weight and a big hook.
And thick wire, extra heavy duty clevis. The whole thing is built to fish big. Chaz is doing the same thing with the JB Rattler. He's actually upsized the size of the hooks.
Yep.
From the way they come, because what we got with the JB Rattler, and people that buy this bait, a lot of them are bass fishermen.
Yes.
And they're buying it for bass and for stripers, but for muskies, just put bigger hooks on them. And really the outfits, here's the other thing. Most people fish with 80 and 100 pound test braid today. trust me, folks, the beast braid that we make is just incredible, isn't it? With these smaller reels.
Yeah.
Smaller reels, 65-pound test beast braid, 9-foot rods. These new rods that I'm working on with my friends from St. Croix, they're phenomenal. The light action, bass rod action, like a heavy power bass rod. This rod here is a 710 swim bait, bass swim bait rod, 710 bass swim bait rod. And that's Chaz's main stick.
Yes, well, when you're fishing small baits, another thing to add with that 65-pound test, the smaller diameter works better with smaller crankbaits.
It does. It spools better on the small reels. You put the 80-pound test on the small reels, you lose too much diameter when you cast. The 65 spools better on these style of reels. So I'm fishing you can see I'm fishing one of many Daiwa's Lexus series in the 300. I've got St. Croix's Legend Elite 9-footer here. This is a medium heavy, 9-foot. And of course the 500 tinsel. It fishes big.
And that was a big
And
fish,
it catches
man.
big. Don't you ever think that these baits won't catch big fish. Just remember, a generation ago, these were the main baits we fished with. They still catch them. In fact, a whole new generation of anglers will discover them now. Check out the action. And watch what happens also. When you get a big fish at both sides to strike on that figure 8, these 9-foot rods, you own them with these 9-foot rods, and they help you. They help you a lot to get these fish. And of course, you gotta have a good net.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Get her in, dude. Get
Get
her in.
her in, baby. She's in.
Dude,
That's a big fish, man.
figure 8 again. Again.
And you called it. She was right on the rocks outside of the beach.
Outside the beach. Oh, whoa, ladies and gentlemen, this is a tank. Oh, it is a tank. It's gonna hold her right here. What do you think, folks? What a beast. She wore me out. Light tackle, 500 tinsel, baby lures, catching big fish in cold fronts. We'll see you next week. We'll put you back, you big girl.
That's a huge fish, man.
That's a 35-pounder.
Yeah. Huge. Dude, that's a monster. Dude.
That's as big as Tyson.
That's 50-ish. Oh yeah. There we go.
Get her in, dude. Get
Get
her
her in, baby. She's in.
in. Dude,
That's a big fish, man.
figure 8 again.
Fishing with Joe Bucher is brought to you by Recon Boats, made by craftsmen, built for fishermen. Evinrude E-Tech G2, the outboard that changed everything. St. Croix, best rods on earth. Yeti, built for the wild. Joe Bucher Outdoors, still #1 in big game fishing products. And by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers.